Konnichiwa, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about pre- and post-COVID selling. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 7th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku here in downtown Tokyo. It is chic central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. Plus, Stop Wasting Money on Training in Japanese, Training de Okane o Mura ni suru no wa yamemashou, and all are available on Amazon. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive and, even better, thrive in business. 1. Sell more and do it more easily. 2. Exceed your targets. In fact, blow up your targets. 3. Make some serious money. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 347. Today we're talking about, has COVID changed the way we sell in Japan? If you're in the consulting or selling fields, then telling buyers that what went before is now irrelevant is an attractive way to generate revenues. You can see numerous offerings in social media about the new dimension, and they're out with the old remonstrations. Thinking about this for Japan, what has happened here as buyer concerns about COVID begin to ebb away? The biggest difference is we are now back in the office for 70% of companies. We can make office visits once more after having been relegated to doing Zoom calls for the last 3 years. It also means that face-to-face networking events are being scheduled again after a long hiatus. One thing I learnt during COVID was the importance of getting client mobile phone numbers into the database system. When the buyers were working from home, it was almost impossible to get hold of them. The general number on their business card would throw up some mightily unhelpful junior person designated to answer incoming calls. Their lack of enthusiasm for that task was only surpassed by their obvious distaste for grubby salespeople calling the boss. I will pass your information on and Suzuki-san will call you back, was a typical riposte I received. 3 years later, I'm still waiting for those various Suzuki-sans to call me back. Was Suzuki-san actually informed that I called? Was a message passed on, or did the whole promise just immediately evaporate the moment the call ended? I will never know, but I know that nobody ever called me back. For cold calls, they'd worked out that if they put us through to the section chief or the division chief, they exposed themselves as being scolded for doing so, and therefore they just shut down that option. Again, the go-to method was, I will pass your information on and someone will call you back. No calls were returned, and in this case, I strongly suspect they did nothing, absolutely nothing. What about now? Most people are back in the office today, and when we call, we have a higher likelihood of catching them at work. One thing I always recommend is to leave a recorded message if their system allows it. Rather than calling and just hanging up if the answering machine kicks in, at least register that you called and that you want to speak. Naturally, we shouldn't rely on them hearing the message and then calling us back. We should call back again until we get through. The fact they have been called is there, and they are mentally ready for your call when you finally get through. Getting appointments has also returned, and meeting in their office is again a possibility. I prefer to meet them in their office because you get more immersion on their culture and branding when you can do that. It is highly convenient for them, and they feel relaxed in their own environment. They can also effortlessly grab other people who may become pertinent to the conversation when we meet in their location. Find out more. Come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs, as well as we do them in both Japanese and English. We do them face-to-face in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. Show today is being brought to you on the 6th of July by High Impact Presentations course. 2 days, everything videoed, 2 instructors, amazing amounts of one-on-one feedback. Brilliant program. This is how you become persuasive. On the 13th of July, we'll be doing our Dale Carnegie course. We will be looking at stress management, we'll be looking at leadership, we'll be looking at people skills, we'll be looking at communication skills, and also how to expand your world by living an intentional life and really taking a comfort zone and making it much larger, much more capable of allowing you to step up in your career and your business. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie, carnegie.co.jp. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, which in Japanese is Zaegyo. This is the Bible for selling in Japan. Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane wo Muru ni Sunu wa Yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. If you like learning by watching videos, we have nearly 2,000 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small, medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. The questions to be asked have morphed. Now, a good warm-up opening question is about what has changed for their company or business since COVID. This is a broad sweep, which will immediately tell you how they have fared during COVID. We'll also tell you if they are still mainly working from home or whether they've switched back into the office 3 days a week, etc. Maybe what you were discussing 3 years ago may be relevant still, and there are additional items which they now need your help with. This warm-up question opens up channels of questioning to ascertain where the solutions are needed and allows us to quickly zero in on what we can do for them. They may try to expand post-COVID and now have a problem recruiting staff or a retained staff problem. Often in these cases, they may need to outsource more of the business than prior to COVID. They may have invested in technological solutions to drive down their reliance on staffing. They may have had a good pandemic and really boosted revenues over the last 3 years. Now, however, they're coming off those inflated highs and things are slowing down. Today, they are subject to headquarter instructions to freeze hiring and cut costs as other regions leap out of the COVID frying pan into the global recession fire. We should never say no for the buyer, and we should presume there are plenty of the things we supply which they still need until we are told differently. We don't want negative thinking such as, I talked to them 3 years ago, but everything will have changed now, so there's no point going back to them. Our mental frame has to be, whatever they needed 3 years ago has probably not been solved, and actually has been joined by additional needs, which will open up an even bigger market for us. Although the fundamentals of selling remain unchanged for the past 3 years, the access barrier is finally declining. Therefore, we must act quickly and reach out to our clients. They have new requirements and we have the solutions. So we need not be shy about contacting them and checking on how they are going. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, then please work on your karma and share this with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today. Go out there and survive. Use it and make some serious money. Bucks, dough, moolah, coin, dosh, lolly, readies, smackers, earners, and bread and honey. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.